Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Texans Probe. Today, we're back with Drew. Today, we're going to discuss the Texans game against the Chiefs. Obviously, a very fun game for everyone. One of like the best primetime performances the Texans have had in a long time. It felt like they went into a big game against a desperate Chiefs team, and they won. I mean, we talked about this last episode. We thought the Texans were the better football team, and they did show this in this game. But you cannot underestimate how desperate the Chiefs were in this game. I mean, the Chiefs had to win this game. Um, and they didn't. I mean, they lost, and it wasn't really all that close at any point. I mean, the Texans kind of dominated them in this game. The Chiefs defense made a lot of plays in the second half. It felt like, but overall, it felt like the Texans kind of had control of this game for the most part. And obviously, Andy Reid kind of gave them a gift going forward on the 4th and 1. But overall, it felt like they controlled this game, and they really were. They really looked like a better football team to me. We're gonna get into the talk about this game, obviously, and really looking at the future of what we think the Texans can be long term, going into the playoffs and stuff. But Drew, how did you feel about the game and really like the offensive performance? If you want, obviously, we know where the
Yeah,
defense is at this point.
yeah. I mean, the defense. We literally just been skipping over the defense every single time because we
Yeah,
know that they're elite. But now it's to the point where they're actually on the road to becoming historic, becoming one
yeah,
of the greatest defenses of all time. And there's really no concern whatsoever with the defense is capable of. And honestly, even with injuries, this is not a
yeah.
fully healthy Texans
Oh,
defense, technically, if you will. And you're right; they did absolutely control the game. I will say, however, the offensive play was a little bit concerning just in terms of the fluidity. It didn't really seem to have too much of a rhythm to it, other than their two successful touchdown drives. We talked a little bit about how they do a good job of controlling the ball last week, and they also did that this week. But at the same time, I think that they didn't have answers when they needed to have
yeah,
answers,
yeah,
and it kept happening and happening, and then they finally got back on track. So talk about being out of rhythm for a long period of time. That was frustrating because okay, it's week whatever, and you've already had these issues in the past, and why are we not able to come up with answers? And frankly, one of the reasons why Nick Caley is the offensive coordinator is because Bobby Slowick couldn't beat the blitz.
no,
He
yeah, yeah.
lost to the Chiefs twice, and he couldn't stop the blitzes from the Chiefs. And then it got to Nick Caley, and that's a little bit frustrating because that's exactly why you brought him in to have multiple answers. Now, I will say it's a learning experience for them, and it's good that they got to play against that Chiefs defense. Obviously, they're not going to play the Chiefs in the playoffs, but they
No,
will
yeah.
definitely be playing some talented defenses in the future. Like they're going to play the Chargers defense, Jesse Minter, um, and we'll see about who they play in the playoffs if they get there.
Yeah,
I think they will get there.
yeah, yeah. I do
Um,
too.
looking likely that they'll probably get to play the Jaguars or something, or if they end up winning the division as well. So something like that, 3-6 seed. But yeah, the offense I think could have been better. And then,
Uh,
like you said, really confusing that the Chiefs went for it on 4th and 1 from that side of the field. I was
yeah,
like, what? Okay, a little surprised. And then yeah, sure. The Chiefs' offense didn't look too good. The Texans made it hard on them. There were some drops by the Chiefs as well, which was a little unfortunate for them, I guess, if you will. Not sure how
yeah.
much they really would have changed the game. But at the end of the day, you just got to feel like the Texans are on the road to continuously win game after game with their style of play.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like the Texans are gonna like go out and dominate a lot of teams. It's just not like they're not gonna like run up the score on teams. I guess you could say dominating and running up the score are two different things. They're not gonna blow out a ton of teams. It feels like because their offense there's not a lot of teams they're gonna put up 40 on offensively, and that's okay. That's just not the way they play. But like I don't really think this team is gonna be one of these teams that like I'm not all that concerned about them getting upset in certain games by like these Cardinals and Raiders type teams. And
Exactly.
obviously, I'm gonna knock on wood because hopefully I don't jinx
It's
it.
just no way they
But
would lose them.
but their defense is too good. Like there's if the offense would have to play such a bad game against bad defenses for them to lose. Like that's literally the only way they're going to lose one of these games because the Cardinals are a team that physically like they can't run the football. They're just awful at running the football. They don't have a running back. Their offensive line's beat up. Like Jacoby Brissett's thrown the ball 40 times in three straight games. And now they're without Marvin Harrison Jr., who hasn't been playing. They're without Paris Johnson, who's their left tackle. Like they stand no chance on offense. Like they
Right.
literally stand no
No
chance.
way.
I like Jacoby Brissett. I've been higher on him than most people for a while. I think he can start places in the league, and he's kind of showing that. He's been fine for Arizona. Like, but we can be honest about it and say there's no way in hell they're going to have a good offensive game. There's no way. There is 0% chance. If they play a good offensive game, I will like I don't know. I'll go. I'll give a Cardinals fan $25. Like I would
There
like
you
be
go.
shocked. I'll be shocked if they play a good
It would be
offensive
really
game.
impressive.
It would, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It would. Um, but yeah, I'm not overly concerned about like these next two games, obviously. And then if they win these next two games, they're essentially in. Like they could lose both of the next two, and they should not lose to the Colts at home with Philip Rivers playing quarterback. But
Right.
uh, and really, they probably shouldn't lose to the Chargers how beat up they are either. But
Yeah.
obviously, winning what would that be 9 in a row? Like that's tough. So I get
It's,
that,
it
but
is. It is. It's just
it's
like
it's 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 tough to win 9 in a row in the NFL. But they really should probably win
exactly.
all
That's what I
four
was
of
gonna
these
say.
games.
They
Yeah.
shouldn't lose these games. Like, if we're being honest.
So that's what's interesting about it. Like it probably should at least go 3-1 in these games,
Yeah.
and they probably should go 4-0 to be honest with you, with how they're playing and the teams that they're playing against, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Because I mean, yeah, but like you said, they're gonna have to play some challenging defense in the playoffs. Like Denver is the obvious example of like another challenging defense in your conference. But Denver's pretty similar to you in the sense that I don't think their offense is very good. Like we kind of have seen that firsthand. And I honestly, I think I trust the Texans offense a little bit more because I think Stroud's going to make plays out of structure and things like that. Kind of like we saw in Kansas City, actually. Like Stroud did not play a great overall game, but
Yeah.
they don't win the game without the plays that he made out of structure. Like there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can make some of those plays that he made. Like the third down in the fourth quarter where he stiff arms Chris Jones, goes and fits into the window. The one to Nico down, like there's just a lot of those type of plays that he made in this game that there's not. The Texans don't win with a lot of starting quarterbacks in this game. Like the offense just doesn't move the football.
Agreed.
And so again, there was a miss to Hutchinson that was bad. Then there was a miss to Kirk at the end of the game, which I think was kind of a miscommunication. I think Stroud thought Kirk was going to break it more, break the route a little bit quicker. But either way, it's still a miss. Like that should have been completed. But I think the plays that were there were made, and you don't win that game without him the way that he played, and especially when you get pressured 55% of the time, which is pretty ridiculous in
Yeah.
that game. Um, but yeah, I mean, you were just talking about how historic the defense is. I posted a stats today, and I can pull it up, or I could just kind of read it. But they're the first. Oh, my phone's not loading. But they're the first defense since the 2008 Steelers. Currently, obviously, this could change, but to be under 175 pass yards a game and under 95 rushing yards a game, which is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
that is insane. That does not happen.
No.
And I mean, the 2008 Steelers, just so we're aware, won the Super Bowl. Um, and obviously their offense, I would think, was better. But the point is like the defense is historically good. Like they're at the level of like one of these defenses that is just like going to beat you up every week. They haven't had a bad week. They had not had a bad week all season. I mean,
Right.
they've not had one game where they played really like they played poorly, I would say. I think if there was one example, it's probably Tampa. I didn't think they played great against Tampa because Tampa kind of ran all over them.
They did.
Which I mean, but they really was the first two quarters, and then the second half, the defense was awesome in that game. The defense willed them back in that game because the offense was doing nothing in that game. So that was probably their worst performance this season. But like you go look at week 3 against Jacksonville, like I know they lost that one. Like the defense was awesome in that game. Um, I mean, really, since they cut C.J. Gardner-Johnson, they've probably been easily the
Even
best
better.
defense in the
Yeah.
league. Yeah. So really, after the first 3 weeks, it's been ridiculous how good they've been. Um,
Yeah.
like Seattle, like I remember, like first quarter, Seattle lit them up, and the rest of the game, it was like the defense
No, literally
literally
nothing.
was the only thing that like. If the defense did not play as well as they did the last 3 quarters in that game, the Texans would have lost by 40. I mean, like that game should not have been as close as it was, but the defense, Will Anderson had a touchdown. Like they had
Yeah.
3 picks. Like they should not have been in that game at whatsoever. And they were. Um, and I guess we can just kind of highlight some players. Like we're gonna get into the offense a little bit more, so we can highlight some defensive players that had good games.
Yeah.
Our guy, Tommy Togiai, is just everywhere.
Yes. Nonstop. It's great.
It's just
honestly,
everywhere, man.
It's impressive. It really is.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And sometimes it feels like you watch a game and I like Tommy Togiai. I'm like, oh man, he's making all these plays. And sometimes I go check the stats, like he really didn't do as much as I thought he did. He was number 1 this week in defensive tackles run stops. He had 6 run stops this week, which is ridiculous.
When you see that number, you're like, whoa. Like, you have to
Yeah,
pause for
he
a
was
second.
everywhere. He had
Yeah,
4 pressures, he had a sack. He was everywhere in this game. And mind you, like, I get Trey Smith is hurt. That's not a bad interior from the Chiefs either. They got, I mean, Creed Humphrey's pretty damn good. Like, they got some good players on their
yeah.
interior. And Tommy Togiai was just beating them, man. Um, like, I like Tim Settle a lot, but man, I don't think Tim Settle had a game this good all season. I think
No,
Tommy Togiai
never
outplayed
in
it.
his
Yeah.
career. I
Yeah, he may
mean,
not have ever had a game this good in his whole career. So yeah, the fact that Tommy Togiai is under contract for next season, for like 1.3 million is
yeah,
ridiculous. What an extension by Nick Casario. Actually, we got to give him his props on that one for sure.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Do you
no.
have any other defensive players you want to highlight or in this game?
I mean, probably Jalen Petrie again.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
just the fact that he's flying all over the field. Also, the physical element that he brings to the team. Can we just talk about how perfect it is? Because, like, obviously,
so
that
it's
everyone's
so
super
awesome,
talented, but the fact that you have someone that actually hits someone so hard and he'll do it multiple
so
times in a
awesome.
game, it's just
Yeah,
like he is the perfect player to be on this defense. He obviously has found his role, found his footing. You know, they thought he was an instinctual player when he was at Baylor, and then he comes to
yeah,
the NFL, has to play deep safety. He doesn't have instincts to play there. Then he goes back to this role in the box, and he's just freaking amazing. And now he's good in man coverage too, and he hits hard and he flies around the field. It's great. I would say pretty much all the linebackers also played pretty well.
I agree. Yeah,
Obviously, notable. Travis Kelsey didn't have an impact in this game, but he did in
no,
the playoffs last year.
hmm,
And so credit to the game plan as well.
yeah,
Matt Burke probably also has an impact in that as
yeah,
well.
he does.
Remember,
Yeah.
EJ Speed's playing more and more and more and more
He's actually
for
he
him.
did not play very much in this game, surprisingly. I don't know if he got hurt or something, but his snap count was pretty low in this game, I think.
Huh.
I know he's questionable this week, so he may have had like an injury type thing. But
Yeah.
I will say Toa played pretty solid in this game. Like that was one of his better games, I felt like, this season. He played pretty solid in that game. Aziz was really good this game.
Yeah.
I felt like I mean, yeah, linebacker wise, like you said, I mean, really
No
there's no complaints
issues.
about the defense. It's
Because
just
last year it was a
um
glaring issue in that game. And
yeah.
here you said no
Yeah,
problems.
yeah, for sure.
Credit to those guys for sure.
I agree with that. And I mean, like we've talked about, um, you know, it is nice to have the ability, and I get why they do it. I thought they were like, I think they're rotating the defensive ends a little bit too much in certain situations, but
Yeah.
it is
Hey,
nice.
they've been doing that though.
They've been doing it a
Yeah.
lot the last couple of weeks, and I will say it is nice that like Derek Barnett is very capable enough to do that.
Yeah.
But I would like to see them not rotate both of them at the same time as much as they do. Keep one of Hunter and Anderson in, and then put Derek Barnett on the other side. Because Dylan Horton, I don't know if I've seen Dylan Horton make a play all season.
Yeah, that's, uh,
I don't
yeah.
think he's made a single impactful play. So I don't really know why. Like, I get why they like him because he's athletic. He's a pretty good run defender, but like, I mean, I don't know when he's made a play. Like, I'd rather see like let Danico Watson rush off the edge if you want. At this
Yeah,
point,
I'd
I mean,
rather.
I'd rather see that. But yeah, like I get why they're doing it, especially now because like they don't really like they're like a 90% chance to make the playoffs. Like, if you can get those guys some rest for the
Yeah.
playoffs, like I don't hate it. So,
Yeah.
uh,
You're gonna see
but
it a lot the next 2 weeks. I would have to imagine.
oh yeah,
Good
I would
team.
hope so. The next 2 weeks, I would hope that they would get some. I mean, they should still be able to get after the passer these next 2 weeks, even without those guys out there. So um, yeah, I mean, like you said, offensively, I mean, it's just frustrating to get knocked out of rhythm, like you said, for that long of a time. But it definitely can happen to this offense. We've seen it happen multiple times. Like they can get knocked out of rhythm for a long time, and then it almost feels like the defense has to make a play for them to
It
get
really
back in
does.
rhythm.
That's
And
exactly how I felt.
yeah, and I thought because they have certain moments where like they were totally out of rhythm, and then Stroud on the 3rd and 17 finds Higgins for the first down. Like that's a huge breaker. And then they had a good play. They get 2nd and 3, and then they run it for nothing or something, and then they do the sweep to Knoll, which didn't go anywhere. So it's like they find they just they can't really string together when they're rolling, they string together drives really well. When they're not,
Mhm.
they don't do anything on
Yeah.
offense. So it's a weird combination of like I think they're a better offense than they were last season. I was talking about this. I think they're improving still on offense. I still think they're better than they were definitely at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But like they still go on these lulls where they just don't do anything for too long. Because the problem is we're gonna get to like a playoff game. You can't go on a quarter and a half lull on offense. Like you have to do something on offense. Even if it's just getting a couple first downs. Like you have to do something on offense. You can't just continue to punt three and out the whole half. Um, so that's
Yeah.
just something to kind of keep an eye on. But like you said, I was talking to my dad about this too. I think it's a good thing that you saw that kind of blitzing type defense because you're probably not
Yeah.
going to see them again. So it's a good idea. Like I said, I think they do a good job. Nick Haley's done a good job adjusting week to week. So hopefully they see what happened in this game and
Right.
kind of fix some of this stuff. And honestly, some of it was just straight up Chris Jones just kicking Ed Ingram's ass, which is probably gonna
It did
happen.
happen. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
They did double team him too, and it didn't work.
Yeah. So
It's
I mean, some of it's just a personnel thing where like you're just not going to win that matchup more than likely. Because I will say, Chris Jones just locked the fuck in this game. Like there was nobody trying. There was nobody that could block him in this game. Like he was just locked in as that guy could get. But I mean, you know, it happens. What matters is the fact that they won this game. We talked about this last season. We kind of complained about the offense. I don't like complain about the offense anymore. I'm just more so appreciative of what they can do. If they can do anything on offense, we're good. Like I just need. Like they played a good half on offense. You know what?
yeah.
That's okay. You just got to do something in the fourth quarter, and they did. And oh, you know what? Dare Gumbawale.
That's right. He did redeem himself. I think he finally redeemed himself.
He they gave him a duo run from the 5, which if that would have not worked, I would have been very upset. But it works, so credit to him, I guess.
Okay.
But oh geez, no, I saw him coming in. I'm like, oh my god.
I was
And
worried. I honestly thought he was gonna fumble. Like,
yeah, if he would have fumbled, he should have been cut.
yeah,
He should have just been sent to the locker
during the
room.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Uh,
right, we can go ahead. We can just watch some of the third downs on offense, kind of see what happened, struggle wise, because obviously we're gonna see some. All right, let me log in first before I. But I mean, like I said, overall the offense was okay. Um, they just have to make timely plays. I kind of said that they just need to make plays at the right time in games. That's all. Like I
when
don't
you have a
expect them to be
defense like that,
consistently
yeah.
good. Yeah, I don't expect them to be consistently good throughout a game. I just need them to like in big moments, third downs. I need to try to go make plays, and that's what he did in this game. So, like I said, it wasn't. I wouldn't call it a great performance, but he did enough, and he made big plays. So it's all that I can ask for, really.
Exactly.
Especially in a game where you're pressured as much as he was. I mean, um, just that was a pretty brutal game from that standpoint. All right, all right, we can go ahead and let's watch the third downs. Okay, so we got 13. We don't have too many third downs. We can watch from. I guess I don't really care what angle. We probably should watch sidelines so we can watch the routes as well because we're kind of um, talking about some of the offensive combos and stuff. I thought Nick Haley called a good game in the first half, and then boy oh boy did it crumble in the second half.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I said that at halftime, and then I got flamed for it in the second half. I'm like, guys, I didn't say it in the second half. I said it in the first half. It's not my fault he called a bad second half. Um,
I would
I
say
mean
with this play, I mean, I don't hate the formation, but I'm trying to figure out what Hutchinson is trying to do here.
it's like an option
Yeah,
route, I
I
guess.
don't I don't love what Hutchinson is doing here
No,
at
that's
all.
really the matchup that you would want to win too.
Yeah,
You got an option
exactly.
route against man coverage, and he just kind of
I mean, that's just embarrassing. That's
just
the
a
route that
bad.
you're right. That's the route that had to win because
Yeah,
everything else is shaded towards the middle of the field and to CJ Stroud's right. You got double there, and then Schultz is practically doubled, and then Kirk is running a mandatory outside release, which
yeah.
is not really, frankly, a route. It's just a clear out. And so Hutchinson is the one that has to win, and he
I
doesn't.
don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, it's pretty clearly like an option route, but he doesn't choose anything. He just kind of like stands there. He just bumps into the
Yeah.
corner, and then it's just a weird. I'm not sure it would have worked either way because the pressure's there like immediately, but it's just that's not a good route combo. Or it's not well not a good route. I don't know what he's. I mean, I think Stroud looks at him after the pressure, and he's just like not. He's just like what's going on over there. You can see his head kind of. I guess he's kind of looking at Nico the whole way, but I mean that just wasn't open. So Jalen Knowles taking more snaps, by the way. We can talk about this. We talked about this last week, actually.
Yeah,
That I felt like I saw him more out there, and I didn't really have a number on that. But this week, I know I have a number on it, and it was 50-50
absolutely
essentially.
more.
So
And he wins that route too, kind of.
I actually didn't see, but I like this. This is another one where like a 3rd and 10. These
Yeah,
are the plays where you have to make a play,
and someone
and
did. I
then
appreciate
you
that.
get 9. Yeah, no, and like the extension from Stroud's good.
Yeah,
Um, and you find Higgins. I mean, yeah, actually, if there's no pressure there, that ball definitely could go
that's
to
true.
null.
He was open initially.
Yeah, yes. I mean that ball definitely could go to null if Chris Jones isn't just kicking the whole line's ass. But
Yeah.
but like I said, good job from Higgins and good job from Stroud here. Um, Obviously frustrating that you get the offsides call on the 4th and 1 here because
Yeah,
you
that
know
was just really something else,
yeah.
honestly.
I mean
That
Chris Jones' head was
was
across
right,
the ball, so
exactly. It was the
so I don't
ultimate.
know.
You're playing the Chiefs. There's something. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean I didn't think. And really, I guess the 3rd down doesn't technically count because the play didn't count. But the illegal shift 3rd down, which is the play before this, I liked the
That
route
was
concept a
just.
lot too. That was nice. Which I guess technically that's an illegal shift, but that was a pretty tacky call too,
It
actually.
was very.
um, but you know what? It happens. It's just frustrating because it feels like the Texans can't get out of their own way, and it doesn't help to get tacky calls in the red zone.
Exactly.
So but all that matters is they won the game. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to complain too
And
much.
that's honestly all you can ask for when you have a defense that is literally number one in the league,
Yeah, yeah.
makes
It's not
flash
gonna.
plays with your quarterback,
They're very rarely gonna play like pretty football. It's probably not gonna look all that pretty to the
and that's
eyes.
okay
Yeah, no, it doesn't
because
matter.
you know who played in the Super Bowl last year? The Chiefs and the Eagles,
Yeah,
both
the
teams
Eagles do
that
not play pretty football
they
either.
don't play
Yeah,
pretty football, and their
no.
fans were both very upset with how their performance offensively last year, and they both went to the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah, yeah. Neither of
whatever.
those teams were pretty offenses for sure. This was a good job. I mean, this ball probably could have been out earlier though. I thought, but he's kind of
Oh, absolutely.
yeah,
Eyes were drifting a little bit to the
yeah.
left.
But yeah, it's a good job. He eventually gets to it and makes a good throw. So
I will
and
say,
like
I
I
think the
said,
pocket management is pretty much back to being a top tier in the league from
yeah,
CJ
it's been
Stroud.
really really good.
It's just
Yeah,
been
I agree.
amazing. And you see,
Mhm.
and then you go watch another quarterback, and you're just like, oh, that's not good
Yeah. I
whatsoever.
watched I watched the Monday night game with Philly, and I'm like, boy, oh boy,
Yeah,
Jalen
exactly.
Hurts is running into sacks.
Hmm.
And I will say, like, I know Mills had a game where he didn't take a sack. Like Stroud's gonna probably take 2 to 3 sacks a game. Like that's pretty much just a guarantee at this point. But I will say most of the sacks that he's taking are not like killer sacks. He'll take a 3rd down sack in the red zone where it's like you're kicking 3 either way. It doesn't really matter. Like those are
Exactly.
the kind of sacks that you're taking, so that doesn't really like bother me. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's gonna probably take 2 a game ish, but they're not killer sacks like I said. So, and really, like I said, the pocket movement's been really good,
The
which is nice. But
footwork is awesome, and then it's super connected with the release, and you get enough velocity on it. I mean, that's one of my more favorite throws, just because of how he manages that entire play.
yeah, and then this is another one where like this is just it's a good job pre-snap from Stroud as well. Um, I don't know if he checks Woody to the other side or what's going, if Woody just lined up on the wrong side here, but
Yeah, that
it
was
worked.
also strange, but I like it.
Yeah.
That's stuff that they needed last year, and we were asking for more checkdowns, check and releases, chips, and whatnot, and that's
Mhm.
exactly what you
Yeah.
want there.
I mean, honestly, you can tell Stroud knows where he's going with his ball the entire way. He's never really looking at the route combo. He's really just reading the linebacker.
Yeah,
He's just trying he's essentially just baiting him to blitz
it
when he
really is
knows
a
he
trick
has
play.
it.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
staring in the middle of the field.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's just looking at Nico and seeing if he could just
Yeah,
win. But I mean, he kind of knew where he was going with this the entire way. Um,
exactly.
like I said, it's just easy answers. Like that's the kind of stuff that you need, especially in the red zone, because with how bad they've been in the red zone, like that kind of stuff is exactly what you need. And this play was okay. Well, I guess I skipped too many. This one right here. I don't. Do I remember this one? I think. Oh yeah, I do remember this play. The 2nd down on this drive should have been a huge play. That was a screen to Woody that just it got kind of blown up. But man, it was wide. He had so much room if he.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
just got batted.
yeah.
I mean that's the right decision too. It's just a good play by the DB. Like that's your hot. I think Schultz probably gets a 1st down too if this ball's there. but
Definitely. Uh,
maybe not. Yeah,
that
maybe not.
closes
But
on
I
the
will
film
say,
Schultz.
I will
Like,
say though, yeah, I will say you're definitely in go for it range at that point
yes.
because you're at the 4th and 2 from the 40 whatever if
Hmm.
you wanted to try to go for it. So
Yeah.
this is one of the best plays of the night from Stroud as well. This was pretty awesome. 3rd and 16.
Hmm.
It's frustrating if they wasted this opportunity because they took 20 seconds and then false started. But
Yeah. That was really clutch, though. That's exactly what you're looking for. If you can just make plays like that every single game, once in a while.
yeah, what is okay? I don't want to complain about Schultz too much, but I don't know. Is he like why? What's the point of having him wait out here and then not chip? He
Yeah.
just he just touches
Yeah.
him. What's the point?
And that's the guy who gets the pressure. That's
Yeah, I mean,
really
I'm
frustrating.
pretty confident Ursary thinks he's getting a chip here
For
because he
sure.
should be, and he just doesn't. Like, what does he do? I don't know.
Wow.
That's pretty bad. That's not good.
It's Dalton
But
Schultz, and he's done things like this in the past. So,
yeah, but again, this is what you talk about with pocket movement, man. Like
yeah,
that's about as good
perfect.
as it gets.
Yeah.
I'm
Footwork
going.
wise, great. So,
Yeah, beautiful. And then you kind of get into this lull on third downs,
yeah.
where third down to Hutch. I think this one's just if I remember
Third
correctly,
and
this one is
long,
just
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. It was a weird
Oh,
start.
this was the yeah. That was a bad
It
miss.
was definitely a bad miss.
Yeah, I I kind of don't know what to make of this because he should have just got rid of this ball earlier, but by the time he gets rid of it, it's kind of a weird pocket because Titus is just like in his lap. It's not really Titus's fault, but he's kind of climbing, and then it's like his foot kind of gets stepped on. The ball just needs to be out quicker though. He just throws
Exactly.
it too late.
The window is there.
Um, yeah, yeah. Just
The
I mean,
window
he's
is
kind of
always
looking.
there. Matter of fact.
Yeah, he kind of looks at Nico too long. Actually, he doesn't really get to Hutchinson quick enough on this play because I mean he's looking at Nico kind of this entire way,
The
and there's
whole
just no way
time, there's
Nico.
three
There's just
defenders.
really no way that Nico's gonna get open there. So probably should have gotten off that a little bit quicker. Like I said,
Yeah.
this was one of the few mistakes I saw. Oh my god, that could have been roughing too. Actually, that was definitely a late hit too. Well, watch Karloftis here.
All right. Oh yeah. I guess he hit it high, not low.
Yeah, it's just late, but yeah, I mean, good chip by Woody actually too. He kind of totally moves him out of the way. But yeah, Stroud's just late there. It's a frustrating miss, but it happens. Honestly, that's what's funny is like I feel like I see people complain about easy misses like that all the time, and then I go watch other games, and it
Mhm.
feels like every other quarterback misses throws like that too. It just happens. Like there's at least like a couple throws a game where I feel like even like the best like I know Herbert has a broken left hand, so but I'm watching the chart. He missed like an out route that was
Yeah.
like a 5 yard wide open. I'm like, man, that's a bad miss. But yeah, you just sometimes you just sail throws. But
Mhm.
really, I will say the thing that with Stroud that I will say about this game is most of his misses were not footwork based, which has been kind of his issue to me in certain games
Right.
this year.
Also.
Like I'm okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, if the footwork is okay, I'm okay with some misses. Like it's just gonna happen. But
It's
the one
too
like the
hot.
yeah,
Too hot.
yeah. This was another miss too. But like again, the footwork here I don't think is bad. I think it's just a miss. He
Hmm.
just was too high. But like I said, like the Seattle game earlier in the year was like that was the one where it was like, boy, like there's just misses off of just terrible footwork. And really
Exactly.
since then, it's been clean, and that's what you like to see.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's another miss. It's just too high. You got to give Nico a shot there. Like he's too good at the catch point to not give him a
Right.
shot. And I actually think this throw was pretty good. I didn't think this was a bad throw. It's a tough catch, but
Yeah. It's
it's
nice that he
definitely
put it
it's
there though because of where the defenders are. I don't know if that's necessarily on purpose. Timing wise, I don't love it. I felt like maybe there's a chance he gets out earlier. You can kind of
yeah.
cover that with anticipation, I think. earlier.
Yeah, I don't really know why he bailed here. He kind
Yeah,
of bails right when
exactly.
he doesn't have to. But yeah, I mean that's probably a ball that Kirk should have caught. I would
Yes,
say, but
he
you know,
nearly
it's
did.
definitely
Pretended they
not.
did.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah, it's definitely not an easy catch though. So I do understand that part of it. It's definitely not.
And then
And
that's
this
just
is
another
just
frustrating. Honest, that's what I was referencing earlier. Like when stuff like that happens, you get flashbacks to last year, and it's just really concerning that why are we letting someone come from up the middle? It's never supposed to be someone from up the middle. Never.
yeah. I mean, because like Woody does his job here
Yeah.
too. I mean, really, I would assume this is Ursary. Like
It's
he's got to
probably
take the
Ursa's
inside guy.
fault. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to take the inside guy.
He was so locked in.
Locked on.
Just
I
that
mean, it is
one.
Chris
Yeah.
Jones, so I get it. I do
Yes.
understand that part of it. You don't want to leave Chris Jones unblocked, but um, I guess ideally you just adjust the protection. You slide to that side, so you don't have to leave Chris Jones unblocked. But you know what? And obviously, I know people are going to say you could just throw the check down to Schultz. It is 3rd and 10 though, so
Yeah.
I mean, unless you throw it, I guess you throw it there. Like, but I mean,
I still don't even believe he'd get more than like 2 more yards after the catch.
the problem is that he's chipping and he's not even looking at the ball until right then, and you really can't get rid of it. So you just kind of duck, you just kind of throw it in the middle of the field, just get rid of it, I guess. And then this was a huge play.
Yeah.
This is one of those plays that I'm talking about where it's another 3rd and 16,
And
and you
from
pick
right
up
there, I mean, that's
17. I mean, and
absolutely gonna. Oh man, the throw
that
is just yeah.
pocket movement's gorgeous too. I mean, Chris Jones is just immediately in the backfield. And I mean, that's not an easy throw. He steps up into 2 defenders. Like, that is not an easy throw to make. He steps up right into 2 guys, and I mean, just on the
Crazy.
money. Yeah, it's awesome. It's also a pretty good anticipation throw, too, actually. He throws it, I mean, throwing it into
Oh
open
yeah,
space.
that's a woo to feel that window with pressure as well.
I mean, he's loading up right here to throw this
Yeah.
football. That's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, one of the better Stroud games. Even though he had some weird misses,
Yeah, I would agree.
a
I would
lot to be
agree.
encouraged about mechanic.
He made big plays and big moments in this
Exactly.
game, which was kind of what we wanted to see.
Like, there are so many
Um,
quarterbacks that just don't make those throws.
yeah, and I mean this is it's pretty special here. There's not many guys
Yeah,
that make this play.
you have to be fearless too.
Mm-hmm. Now it's a risky throw.
It definitely.
Now I'm not sure if he tries to throw it if it's not a defensive end in coverage, but he
That's true. Yeah,
but you know what? It's knowing your personnel. So
exactly.
and I will say, Jaden Higgins on like these type of situations, kind of the out of structure stuff. He's been really good the last couple of weeks. Like that's been
Mhm.
one of his better roles.
Yeah,
Uh, Kind of just knowing where to be. I mean, it's easy for the big receivers. I feel like you just kind of find space and you play big. And he's
exactly.
done that. So you know we like to see that, obviously. And then I think there's one more. Yeah, this was the Mystic. This one was just weird. I didn't feel like this was like a huge accuracy miss. It was just weird. Like I feel like there's been a couple different times this season where like him and Kirk have just not been on the same page in situations. I mean, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it, probably an overthrow.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. Yeah. Who's on his
I mean, I get
pass,
the
man?
pressure being in their face
Yeah,
too.
I
Fair.
think did Andrews get run over? Oh no, it was Woody that chipped. Okay, or
Yeah, I
cut.
mean,
That
hey,
makes sense.
try to go for the cut block. Respect it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, he slows him down a little bit. That's really like all you can ask in that situation. Yeah, I mean, it's just again, really like I said, this and the Hutchinson miss were the ones that I thought when I watched were like, yeah, you kind of those are throws that like those are unfortunate
Right.
misses,
At
I
least
would
we're not
say.
talking clean pocket misses. These are
No,
all the
no,
ones
yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. It definitely involved some
And
pressure.
this is not an easy throw to make.
Yeah,
I
you
know
can
he's
see how his
open,
arm angle
but
changed too.
yeah, so I was gonna say the arm angle has to change. And like I said, the Hutchinson one, the real issue on the Hutchinson one was just not getting rid of it earlier. This one, I didn't feel like he was late. I just felt like he just missed in the
Yeah,
situation. I guess you could throw it a little bit earlier, but he's kind of
slightly hesitates.
yeah. Like you could throw it right there, right, and just lay it out there.
Yeah,
Um, and then the pressure wouldn't get there. But yeah, like he kind of takes a hitch and then he throws it. But yeah, I mean it's just one of those misses. Like a throw that you'd want to have back for
Yeah.
sure. But again, when we're talking about the 4 or 5 or 6 out of structure plays that he made, and we're talking about 2 misses, I would say that's a pretty successful game as a whole.
Hey, and now we maybe potentially get to see the offense have a big game again in the next 2 weeks. There's a chance that they do actually have another big game similar to Baltimore or whatever, and
Yeah.
clinch a playoff berth in its next 2 games too, potentially as well.
Yeah, I don't know if they
What's gonna
technically can clinch
happen?
one. I'm not 100% sure, but if they get to 10-5, they have like a 99% chance or
Yeah.
97. So you're essentially in. I think they're at like 89 right now. So I mean, they'd have to completely crumble against a bad schedule, I would say, to not make it.
Yeah.
And I don't really think they're gonna do that. So I feel like they're gonna make it. And really, like my whole thing with the playoffs right now is like I'm not too worried about, oh, we got to win the division, we got to do this. Obviously, having like home game would be awesome, but
Right.
I don't really think it matters who they
More of a big,
play. Like, there's
defense.
no team. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no team in the AFC that like I'm like, oh, we can't if we play them, it's like that's gonna be a tough game.
Exactly.
It doesn't really exist. I'm not too concerned about any of these teams. Um, and really I would say the benefit of being the third seed would that if the second seed's probably gonna be New England. And New England could very well lose in the wild card. And then you could get a second home game,
Yeah.
potentially, which would be huge.
Hmm.
But I'd still absolutely think winning the division is very on the table. Like Jacksonville could very well lose. Jacksonville's a weird team. They could definitely lose to Denver, but they could also lose to Indy or Tennessee. Like they're a very weird team. They play really well in certain games, and then other games it's like this team looks like a 2-win team. They're very weird.
Yeah.
So they could absolutely lose one of these games and then give the Texans the division.
Mhm.
But even if they don't win the division, it's not the end of the world. Like they can absolutely still make a run, I think.
Really not too worried about where they play. I think at this point it's just matchup, game
Yeah, I
plan,
agree.
things like that, and they that's how they've been winning. It doesn't really matter. There's not that many fans at NRG Stadium for any game other than the Bills game. The Bills game was fun. That was a good environment. It was packed, but like other than that,
Yeah.
it's really nothing to it. So that's just a football
No.
team.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, you got anything else to add, Drew?
That's it.
All right. We appreciate y'all, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back talking Texans next week. Obviously, definitely, hopefully after a win. Obviously, we should be a game that they should win. Take care of business. Get to 9-5. Texans are very close to matching their win total from the first 2 seasons under D'Amico, which is funny because it did not feel like they were going to get to this point, but they're very close to matching it and then potentially getting more than 10, obviously. So, obviously, been a very fun last couple weeks for everyone.